And the whole audience was on marijuana. And they didn't start laughing till I got home. Thank you. So, thanks a lot. I'll see you next time around. Oh, it's weird being with Dave Pegg and the lads, because like it's all changed backstage. I mean, in the early days, you know, the rider was always about uppers, downers, poppers, wacky backy. Now it's deep heat, Benylin, and a bath with a door in it. I don't bother with drugs anymore. I just find that standing up very quickly gives me pretty much the same effect. And, I used to go on those marches in London to legalise cannabis. Yeah, I don't give a toss personally. I just went for the crack. And Keith Richards was on the march. There's a surprise. He'd legalise anthrax if he could smoke it, wouldn't he? Well, it started out as a march and it sort of ended up as a wander. And of course, drugs these days, they're cracking down on everything. You have to beware drugs now, very careful. Particularly in sport. They're testing Hello? Hello? Is there anybody there? They're testing all sports for drugs now. Crown bowls. Them doddery old geezers who play crown bowls, they're giving urine samples now. They don't mean to. That's the way it is. Actually, a lot of people say to me, oh, we don't see you very much on television these days. And I'm saying, well, the answer's very simple. I can't cook. I'm getting too old for this life. Getting old is no joke. And I've just learned that when you get to 70, they're going to make you pass your driving test again. I've got no bloody chance, because it's a written part of the test now. I haven't got a clue. Hey, who has right of way at a traffic island? Me. What do two white lines in the middle of the road mean? A challenge. What comes after the amber light at traffic lights? I don't know, I've never hung around long enough to bloody find out. And of course, when television, like, I mean, this is what I have to put up with now. Michael Parkinson is now coming on television telling me I've got to organise my own funeral. This is pleasant, isn't it? And I've got to send him my money to do it. It's like one of those Nigerian scams. And if I sign up, he'll send me a free gift. A shovel. And it's like life insurance. Life insurance, it's getting pretty near the time now when, well, because like life insurance salesmen, without doubt, I've always had the greatest admiration for life insurance salesmen. Because basically, what they're saying is, look, Mr. Carrot, you give us money every month, and when you die, we give it you back. Timeshare's a piece of piss after that, isn't it? But they don't give it me back. They give it my children. That's who gets the money. And that's a double-edged sword. Because, well, it gives me peace of mind, but it gives them a motive. They keep sending me to Switzerland. Hotel Dignitas. They found it on lastminute.com. I've been a couple of times. I'm the only one who comes down for breakfast. And what do they give you for breakfast? Cheerios. You can clap, yes, you can clap. Because I've got grandchildren now, you see. Now, this is a bloody nightmare. And let me get rid of a myth here. Because, like, people say, oh, grandchildren are wonderful because when you finish playing with them, you can give them back. Bollocks. You can't get rid of them. They're like herpes. Running round the house, upsetting the dog, off, hey, arms stuck up the U-bend because, like, Buzz Lightyear's gone scuba diving. And my back's killing me. Hey, I've been playing piggyback with my 5-year-old granddaughter, and I fell off. And because kids grow up so quickly these days, you know. And my 12-year-old granddaughter came home last week with a yo-yo. And I think his name was Gavin. 6'3" turnip farmer with a forehead that kept the rain off his feet. He had anchovy tattooed on it because he couldn't spell anarchy. What? It's getting stupid. And of course, you have to be, with TV these days, one of the reasons I don't is you have to be so careful, you know, because, well, this political correctness is it's very strange. I mean, education, my grandchildren go to school, and they're trying, with this PC, they're trying to eradicate elitism, okay? And you can't have Group 1 and Group 2 in the class anymore because Group 2 will feel inferior to Group 1. So they've solved the problem by calling them Red Group and Blue Group. So there's the teacher going, right, Red Group, write me a thesis on Einstein's theory of relativity in correlation to present-day advancement in quantum mechanics. And Blue Group, play with your jelly molds. I was a jelly molds kid. I went to a school in Birmingham called Moseley Mixed, and it was all boys. So, it was a bloody rough school. It had its own coroner. I was pretty crap at school, but I wasn't too bad at sport, except, I don't know, I hated cross-country. I hated cross-country. Yes, right. And oh God, particularly at this school, because, like, you know, you had to get away from the dogs. And it was a really freezing December, and it was cross-country the next day. So I don't know whether you've ever done this. What I did is I wrote a letter to the sportsmaster, but I did it in my dad's handwriting and signed it from my father. And I spent the whole night trying it and reading dictionaries and God knows what. And I handed the letter to the sportsmaster the next morning. He opened it up and he looked. He said, "Painful, is it, Carrot?" "Oh, yes, sir." "A vasectomy." "I can hardly breathe, sir." The best one was a friend of mine. Like, "Why can't you go swimming, Bevan?" "Time of the month, sir." Could you do that on television these days? I don't know. The political correctness on TV is something that is getting very difficult. I mean, years ago, you could do anything as long as you didn't swear, okay? But now you can't do anything, but you can swear. You know? It's right. It's the way it is, you know. And I mean, anything to do with religion is a nightmare. I mean, you know, you do something about the Pope. Next day, all these born-again Christians come up to you and go, "Hey, Carrot, hey, what was that joke about the Pope? Hey, why don't you take the mickey out of Muslims, eh?" And your life is a misery. Right? I mean, a few years ago, I did a sketch about dyslexics, and the letters I got. Door Jasper Carrot. Love us exiliads along, you winker. Yours, fully faith. And then I did a piece about Alzheimer's and the envelopes I received. Takes a bit of time. The worst one I ever did. I did a live Saturday night show, and I started it off by going, "Right, this week we're going to have a go at deaf people. We think it's about time deaf people took a bit of stick." I had thousands of letters. God knows who told them. And dangerous sports. I was trying to do a piece on dangerous sports because, well, I just don't understand why people risk their life, you know, doing things like I tried water skiing last year, right? Water skiing. It's best described as a rich man's enema. Ice cold water shooting